Hello, and welcome to Morning with a Mentor. My name is Diller Schwartz, and I am your host. Please join me on Wednesday mornings at 8:30 a.m. while I interview top talent in our KW Austin family.
I think the way that I know that I've won the day is when I can sit down and not be worried about I didn't do something. I am with KW. I'm at the Southwest office, and I like to say that's where I grew up. So that's where I actually first started pulling my real estate life together. And so, but I've been licensed since 2005, October the 6th. So I just hit my 20-year mark. And yeah. And so I have 5 kids and I have 9 grandbabies. So I have my hands full with my family. I do both residential and commercial. I've been doing commercial since since 2009. So, yeah, so that's about me.
All right. And guys, I will be posting her contact information. You also should all go follow her on all of the social channels. She has a lot of fun information to share. All right. So, Barbi, have I given you any questions before this interview? Do you know what we're about to talk about?
No, you didn't allow me to cheat.
All right. So just so you know, and so everyone who's new to these calls, we do them every Wednesday morning at 8:30 to 9. Grab a friend. You don't have to be a new agent. You can be a seasoned agent wherever you want, or wherever you are in the industry, as well as if there's someone in the market center that you want to hear me interview, I ask the agents these same 5 to 6 questions so that you guys can just hear different ways of how people do this at a high level and succeed. They are recorded, and our YouTube channel is almost ready to come out, so you can go back and watch them. So please try to join in as much as you can and keep me posted on who I can interview for you. All right. So Barbi, what are your priorities today?
Today, I have to jump over to Northwest. I'm going to Power Hour with Polly. And then right after that, I have a meeting with Michelle to get my business plan. She's teaching, or they are teaching a business planning clinic. And so I'm going to get all my numbers straight for next year. And then I'm interviewing another mentee. And then I'm lead genning. So I haven't, this is my phone call time. So I haven't made my call yet.
This is really interesting to me. So you've been in the business for 20 years and you are going to Power Hour to practice your scripts.
Absolutely.
Okay. I love it. I think, scripts are one of the things we have to do. It doesn't matter how seasoned we are, right? We do the scripts. And then you also said you're business planning and working on your numbers already. It's only October though. Q1 isn't for 2.5 months.
Yes, but what you do now will happen in the next 2 or 3 months. So, I want to come in January strong. So I need to do what I have to do right now.
I love it. And guys, that's the class being taught by Michelle and Mike at the market centers. It's business planning. You can go to the KW1 calendar for that information. All right. So you also said something else, that you're going to do lead gen today. So let's talk about that. What are your lead gen goals today or daily? What does that look like for you?
So on a normal basis, I also follow and I can never say this, it's like a tongue twister, but the DT-D2.
I got you. Yep.
So that's in my calendar. And I don't try to complete it all in one day. I try to do it throughout the week. And so I have quite a few phone calls to make that are in my phone contacts. And then I send out a short script on text. And so those are pretty much the daily things. And then I'm trying to reach a minimum of, and have actual conversations with like a minimum of 20 people. I figured 20 is not hard, but on the dashboard in my car, I have a sticky note that says I need to reach 200. So, so that's kind of where I'm at with it.
So, guys, if you're new to the call and haven't heard DTD2, it is, I posted a little YouTube video on there from Marty Miller, and it talks a little bit about how to do it in Command and how to tag your people and just what the principles behind what she's saying. And then you said you have a text script that you're going to send your people.
Yes, and I got that from Bold. I've taken Bold 3 times, and so it works. I think he gave us like 5 minutes in Bold, and I got, I want to say, like 8 referrals out of it. So I stick to that script.
So one text, one script, 8 referrals.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I'm not going to challenge those numbers. That's awesome. Okay. So you go home tonight and you're ready to be with your family. How do you know that you won the day?
I think the way that I know that I've won the day is when I can sit down and not be worried about I didn't do something, and I have ADHD too, so so I keep a sticky note next to me, sticky notepad, and next to me, and so if I think of something that I didn't do or forgot to do, then I'll jot it down on my sticky note, and then I have a section in my calendar that tells me to go back and read all of those sticky notes that I wrote down. So, how did I know that how do I know that I won the day? I would say, that's probably that I've attended my education classes and I've been able to send a minimum of, 10 to 20, contacts. So, yeah.
Sorry, I'm taking these notes here for you. Okay. All right. So I heard this from Phil Jones. As realtors, we run around with these databases and we say, oh, I have a database of whatever, 2,000 people, 100 people. My question to you is, how big is your database?
I have, so funny, we just did this. I have around a little over 5,000 in my database, and that's combining my phone calls, my phone, and my CRM. So,
Okay. So you have a database of 5,000 people and you consider all of these people your clients, right?
no.
No. Okay. I love it. So how many people in that database, I'm going to flip the script, consider you as their realtor? And what did you do that you just know hands down, if I called your database, they're saying Barbi?
So, how do I know that they consider me their realtor? I don't know that. And so
Okay.
what I do know is that they receive biweekly emails. They receive biweekly emails from me. So I know that I'm doing my part as far as staying in front of them, staying, on their mind. But 5,000 is a lot of people to try to keep, uh, consistently in their mind. So, what I can control is my actions today. And so I know that the people that I contact today and last week and last month, I know these people are thinking about me on a regular basis. As far as 5,000 people, I am not that lucky.
But you also probably don't need 5,000 people to do what you're doing, right? Because those
No.
people in your database that you're closest to, that you're staying on top of. Because sometimes I think we try to go too big. I mean, I remember one of my biggest years, I only had 300, I think it was 318 people that I was just like hammering. I just didn't have the fear. I was like, I don't care. I called them yesterday. I'm calling them today.
Yes.
You got to keep calling. So
5,000 is huge. And, and do I want 5,000 clients? Absolutely not. So I'm happy where I'm at. I'm manageable. It's manageable. And so 5,000 people in my database, like I said, it's consistent emails, that are going out to these people. I'm able to keep track and I know that they're looking and reading my emails and my smart market reports and things like that. So I'm happy and content with that.
Smart market report. What is that?
I use Top Producer as my CRM. And so it's able to send out subdivision reports. And so I send them a subdivision, a report of their current address. And so it's all the properties that are active, sold, just listed, and they're able to click on that. When someone clicks on it, it comes to my email and to my phone. And so I know that someone's looked at it. So at that point, then I'll send them a text message, hey, how are you? Just wanted to check in with you. And so that's a smart market report.
All right. My favorite question, because I learn something every time I do this on Wednesdays, and then I try to run off and do it and get a client as well. Okay. The pressure's on. You have 14, actually. Well, I'm not going to do it for commercial because I don't think it works exactly the same. We're going to stick to residential.
Okay.
You have 14 days to get a new client under contract. You can pick buyer or seller. 14 days, or I'm going to take your real estate license. That's how hot this is. What is it you do? You got 14 days. What do you do? Where do you go? Tell us everything.
This is one of my favorite things, actually.
All right.
And I love sharing this idea with all the new mentees that I mentor. And so I would go back and I would pull all the expireds and the withdrawn and the expireds from 4 or 5 years ago. And because those are people who wanted to sell, they just for some reason could not sell. And so I would pull those people within a subdivision, and I do this on a regular basis. And so I would pull those people and I would call them, or I would go and door knock them. So they wanted to sell at one point. The question is, why did they not sell? And so was it because of their credit, or was it because the market wasn't good for them? It's something happened in their life that changed their mind, but it didn't mean that they didn't want to sell at one point. So that's the key question, is what prevented them from selling.
So do you go and you just say, I'm going to pull all the expireds all over Austin and Manor or wherever or are you like, I'm laser focused on this specific area?
I'm very intentional. And so I don't want to waste my time, and so I have a subdivision, I have 3 subdivisions that I farm. And so I pull that subdivision, I pull the properties way back, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. Usually I do between 4 and 7 years. And so like for one of my subdivisions, I narrowed it down. I take out all the properties that have already been sold. And then I only focus on the properties that were never put back on the market. And so
I'm gonna elaborate right there really quickly. So guys, what she's saying is she goes back and she'll just pull the expireds. And then she also goes back and double checks to see if they ever came back on the market. Because if they did and they sold, it's just not worth their time probably to go back and call someone who's going to say, hey, I've already sold my house, right? So she does scrub that list. And then Jonathan, you can get contact information from Remine, from Vulcan 7, where you are. Barbie said she also just goes and door knocks, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I have, I prepared it's my buyer seller folder. And so one side of the folder is guided and geared towards buyers, and the other side is for sellers. So this way they get a minimal amount of information. And if they want anything else, my contact info is in there for them to call me.
Mm-hmm. For trying to find information, do you use a product for like Vulcan 7, Mojo, or Remine?
Property search.
Just propertysearch.com. What
Property search? It's free, and it's a really great tool. You can put in the name or the address of the property, and which you can pull up the name. If you have your addresses that you're farming, then you've got the address. Just open up another tab, go into property search, pull up your tax records, put that name in there, and that scrubs all of the social media platforms, and it just narrows all that information down. So it's really
Do you
easy to
use
get.
True People Finder? I just put the wrong one, guys. I put True People Search. I meant True People Finder.
Yep, that's one too.
Um, so I'll not close the screen off, guys, so you guys can pull some of this off on the chat whenever we're finished. I'll leave it open for a second. Okay, so Barbie's going and she needs a deal in 14 days or less. She needs a big fat paycheck. If you find a deal in 14 days or less, that means about in 45 days you're getting a paycheck. She's going to go pull expired and withdrawns from a free tool called the MLS, which you guys all have. She's going to door knock. She's got a little packet ready, and then she's going to be really creepy and go find their information on these.
Stalker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll do that, and I want this. I want my real estate license. I've had it for this long, right? And and then that's when I get on my phone and I'll call everyone I know, and hey, I'm in this challenge, and I also learned that from Bold. But hey, I'm in this challenge, and do you know anyone who's interested in buying or selling? Because maybe they're not, but maybe they know someone who's at their job or their church or their kids' baseball parent or something like that. So I will reach out to literally everyone I know.
That's the text that you're sending everyone?
Yes, text or phone.
Okay. I remember that now that you're saying that. Okay. Any questions so far? I think I've gotten most of your questions answered as we were talking. Charles, I don't know if you saw my response, but Polly's happy hour sounds fun. Power hour is available to everyone. He hands out all the material. It's at the Northwest Market Center. Jonathan, I got your question answered.
Yeah.
I will say too, one thing that's really important is that at the end of every month, I always, and I have it in my calendar, it's on repeat, so I, never have to fix it. I live off of my calendar too. And so at the end of the month, I go through and I pull up the KW calendar, and I just plug in all the things that are interesting, all the classes that are interesting to me. I put those into my calendar. And then I schedule my my family time. My family time's important to me.
Now I'm in charge of that.
Okay. All right. I got somebody interrupting. Hold on. Okay, they're muted. Sorry about that. Yeah. KW1, I'm going to put that calendar on here too. It's a really important class. And you should just, if you don't have classes on your schedule right now, at least time block, like put a 30-minute time block today, just future plan, and put like 2 30-minute time blocks weekly. Even if you don't have the specific class, just put 30 minutes of education and do something.
This is one of the things I told, or I tell my mentees too, if all of us had a previous job before we became realtors, and so if you showed up every day, and you showed up for this other person who owns this other company, you showed up every single day, and you clocked in at 8 or 9 o'clock, and you stayed and you worked till 4 or 5 o'clock, and you diligently did your job duties every day for this other person, why would you not do that for yourself? So I think it's really important for people to look at this like a job, and you're working for yourself. So.
Sorry, I'm typing it out, trying to get on the notes. I love that. I've not actually heard someone say it that way, and that's so true. Okay, so we're gonna end. Actually, anybody questions? Let's see. Charles, you got that. Jana Joy's there. Okay. Just can you give us a quick 2 to 3 minutes on if you're interested in getting into commercial? Where should they start versus taking their first commercial listing or commercial buyer unsupervised?
Yes, it's super important. And Diller, you and I have talked about this, but it's really important that you not do a commercial transaction by yourself. It's so different. Even the commercial lease is different than a residential lease. A lot more forms, a lot more processes. So I would get in touch with one of the commercial brokers. That's Jeff over at Northwest or Alice Duffy over at Southwest. I would reach out to them. Alice, Jeff, Michelle, Emmy, and Alicia Shepherd. I love Alicia too. But they've come up with a mentorship program, which is almost done. And so that mentorship program, I don't have all the details yet, but that mentorship program is going to be great. And so residential agents will
Michelle?
be able to.
Who is Michelle? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep-
Yeah, so it'll be great, if you're interested, in checking out the commercial program, I would definitely reach out to one of them.
All right. So please don't go, guys, please don't go and do something dumb. It's not worth your license. It's not worth risking. You can actually get our entire market center in trouble doing something
Yes.
outside of your scope, your competencies. So, and there's plenty of people here to help you. It's not as easy as just a residential transaction where they can just pick up the phone and answer one or two questions. It's not that easy. It's not that black and white. So, and that's the same thing with land. Please just don't do it. All right. And so we're going to do one more thing here. All right. So we ask our mentors if you could give us one suggested action item that these guys should be doing weekly, what would it be? Here are a few examples that other mentors on the call have given us. So like send 10 cards, handwritten notes daily, schedule your open houses by 3 p.m. on Wednesdays, door knock 10 homes a week. What is something that you suggest to do weekly?
So what I tell all my new mentees is you literally have so much business on your own cell phone. You don't need to buy leads. You don't need to go way out of your comfort zone. You have people in your phone that you can call and you can text. If you can just make it to Power Hour, trust me, Paulie is amazing. He will give you scripts. He'll, walk you through it. You stand up. It's very interactive. And so I would write a script down and put it on it's actually not supposed to be called a script anymore. It's a conversation and I write it in my notes. And then I send the same one out. So I would say call and text, 10 to 20 people a day from your phone.
All right, I'm gonna ask one more question because I know what everyone's thinking. Yes, it's in person. And guys, there are some things we can do on Zoom. There are some things you have to do in person. Like you just have to, because it's a full body experience to go. I still do it. I still script standing up, or yes, you're correct. We're not calling them scripts anymore. In front of a mirror. There are some things you just need to be in person, and you can also hear the tone of other people. You can watch their body language.
It's exciting.
And that's why we're at Keller Williams too, right? Is so
Mhm.
that we can be in this energy together. Okay.
Which, Dylan, brings me back to what I was saying a minute ago. If you're going to show up to someone else, to Walmart or your CEO job you had, if you're going to show up to your previous job, why would you not show up for yourself? Because coming, getting up, getting ready, and coming to the office, even if you don't have appointments, getting up and getting into the office really changes your mindset, because you're working for yourself. So if you're going to show up for someone else, show up for yourself.
I also think about the client on the other side. When we go and sit across the table from someone and we're negotiating $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in our compensation package, I'm going to be terrified that they're going to ask, like, what did I do to practice? Or, what is my training? What is my level of expertise? And I need to be ready to deliver and also know that I worked my tush off to ask for that size compensation. And that's actually fairly low. I mean, $1 million home, you're asking for 60K in compensation. You need to practice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go back real quick. So you said, look in your phone for business. It's there.
Mhm.
I know what everyone did. I saw it. They all take this deep swallow, like, oh my gosh, I have to call people on my cell phone. I have to call people that I know. I don't really want to know what you're telling those people. I want to know, what is your mindset when you look in your phone and you have to call people that you know about business?
So I've tried that a couple of different ways, and again through Bold. And so I've tried that a couple of different ways. I tried the Ford, you know, and then I've tried, you know, hey, I'm just calling real quick. This is a business call, you know, so I won't take up too much of your time. I know you're at work, or because we know these people, so we know where they are, what they're doing, we know their family. So that's why it's kind of confidence building if you call people that are in your phone. That's building your own confidence, because they love you. They want to see you succeed. So of course you're going to call those people. And so maybe you're not asking them for their business. Maybe you know that if they have credit issues, you can start off the conversation. Hey, you know what? I met this great credit repair guy, and I think he can really help you, you know, in like the next 3 to 6 months. You know, is it something you're interested in? Or you know that, you know, their, you know, their best friend just got married, you know, oh, hey, you know, you can ask, you know, these people. So there's so many ways you can have a conversation. It doesn't necessarily take the real estate part out of your mind and put that to the side and think of this person. They're your friend. They're your friend. They're your family. And that's how I treat all my my clients. I treat them like friends and family. I don't treat them like a stranger. So,
All right.
little rampage.
No,
Tangent
you're
there.
totally great. I'm just trying to take notes. So, all right, we have a minute left of Barbie's time. We want to get her back up to power hour. So does anybody have any final questions? If you do, I've tagged her in all of the Facebook posts, which is how many of you know about this meeting. And then next week we have Amanda Ponce on here. So, oh, Barbie, one final question. You speak Spanish, right?
Very little.
Very little. Okay.
Yes.
So we are working. Yes, Caesar, I'll get you her contact information. We are working on doing some stuff where we have a little bit more conversation framework with Spanish speakers, for everybody who's been asking for that. So if you do speak Spanish, please let me know. All right.
Aquí estoy para servirles, déjame saber.
Oh, there you go.
Be nachos. All right.
Can I say one more thing?
Absolutely. You have a minute left.
And I asked one of the new agents yesterday, and I asked them because I'm supposed to teach Ignite, the buyer's class in Ignite next week. And so I told him, or I asked him, what was something that he wanted to learn or wish he knew before he got really involved. And so, you know, one of the things that he said was that he wished that he knew basically what his value is. And so, you know I touched a little bit on that, you know, saying that we all had jobs before we came into real estate, right? And so everyone, you know, he couldn't see what other people's value was before you had in here. So if you just think about where you worked, you know, if you were an office, if you were an executive admin, right? Then you have organizational skills, you know how to maintain a business, which is important. You know, if you were a waitress, you have great customer service skills. You can see you can see which table is going to tip you, which one is not, right? So you can kind of pre-guess on who can help you in what way, right? So one thing is learning your value. The second thing is to, oh gosh, I just went blank. Oh, well.
It's totally fine.
I was trying to rush. You said 1 minute. So I'm just like, ah.
I mean, we're on your time, technically. I just don't want you to be late.
Well, I have to rush because I'm going to go meet Michelle.
Okay. I do have one final question because they're
Sure.
asking me, you're teaching buyers, which I think everyone should go. Please go to Ignite like 19 times. You can never get enough Ignite. You're teaching the Thursday, October 31st class at the Lake Travis Market Center. I can't remember. Does that session start at 9 or 10?
9.
9. Okay. All right, guys, you can always email me at pep@kwaustin.com if you have any questions. And thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, Taylor.
You're welcome. Bye.
Okay, bye.